Hi Portland State, Victoria Rogers here at Cinema 21 in Northwest Portland. We're attending the premiere of Guilty Except for Insanity, a local documentary directed by Haaken.
I've been told that I hit the guy that I was working with, but I can't, in my mind, process that.
I'm Haaken, a clinical psychologist and documentary filmmaker, as well as professor emeritus here at Portland State University. The film that's been screening this week at Cinema 21 is titled Guilty Except for Insanity. It's my fourth film, and it follows the journeys of a group of patients who enter the Oregon State Hospital through the insanity plea, and really tracks the barriers and obstacles in the road as they navigate through this insane system. In the fall of 2008, a group of my students went down to the Oregon State Hospital for a field trip. And the hospital has been in the news a lot for years, and in a perpetual state of crisis. And we went down to find out what was going on there. Part of what we found in doing our first look at the crisis at the hospital was that some of the news coverage of the crises there had actually seemed to have perpetuated or exacerbated the very problem the media was trying to cover. Typically, it focuses on one person who is escaping or a violent incident on the wards, and what happens is that these fairly low-frequency events become seen as the norm. We went into this wanting to tell a different story about the hospital than the one that has been circulating in the media. In bringing another story and taking a deeper look at the humanity of people in the hospital and problems with the system as a whole, I was interested in opening up a more thoughtful discussion, public debate and public discussion on what happens to people in crisis in this country. As it turns out, the safety net for people who are vulnerable or in crisis for various reasons is pretty raggedy. And so often when their lives are falling apart or are running out of resources, their first encounter with the system is the police. And police then often arrest people. The system that we have in place for intervening and providing some kind of security for us isn't making us more secure, that we've been sold a bill of goods around this, the whole institutionalizing of people who are in crisis, but also through their stories and through the kind of creativity on display that people will realize we could do better. So I'm not interested in just documenting the bad news of our existence or just critiquing, but giving the sense, there are people who've gone through the system who have a lot to teach us and can help us build a better world.